right, ladies and gentlemen, if you look out on your left here, you'll see that gray house on the beach. We have a fun story about that. Back in the day, we called it the little old lady's house, or the sweet little old lady's house, because back in the day, this entire beach here was a neighborhood of homes just like that gray house right there. And back in late 70s, early 80s, this developer came to town, and he bought up almost every house in the neighborhood, bulldozed for his condos up in the lakes. Everybody sold except for this one sweet little old lady who lived right there in that gray house there. He ultimately ended up offering her more and more money because this development here was supposed to have like this one super condo right where that house is. It was how he had it drawn up in his plans. But she refused to sell, even after he offered her more than 10 times the market value of the property. So he, of course, finally took the hint and backed off, and I'm just joking. He hit her with eminent domain. The judge said he was out of his mind, so that didn't go through. The next thing he did was actually bulldoze her driveway. He knocked out her power, water, and sewage, all in a bid to terrify her out of to leave the home. And what it boiled down to was when she and her husband had first gotten married, he actually built that house. They had lived there pretty much their entire lives. He passed away there. She was planning on doing the same thing. And she didn't like the idea that something that her husband and she had poured their hearts and souls into just being destroyed like that. So when she passed away, the property went to her kids. Now, the kids were not necessarily as concerned about not selling it as their mom was. So they moved to sell it to the developers, but the thing was their mom was a pretty smart lady and figured that might be the case. So when they were trying to wrap up the sale, they realized that 2 weeks before she passed away, she placed a 99-year deed restriction on the home, preventing it from sale to anyone outside of the family. The second thing she did was get the historical registry involved, got the house listed on it. That made that 99-year deed restriction immortal. The other thing it does is mandate that that home has to be kept in the same, it has to be in the same design as her husband's. There can't be any extensive modifications done to it. If it's ever repaired, it has to be repaired using period correct materials. Has to be kept the same coloration, all 9 yards. So today it's obviously owned by the kids, but you can rent it on Airbnb for $12,000 a month. That also comes with that private stretch of beach right there, which was another reason that Mr. Developer wanted to get his hands on the property. It stands as a testimony, to me at least, to she and her husband's love for each other, and certainly just to the size of one of her fingers.